everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Jennifer, and today we're going to take a look at the new Tom Ford Eye and Cheek palette. This is in shade 01 Raw Desire. This is the packaging, and it's a little difficult, I think, for the camera to focus on because it's white on white on white. There's no detail except on the top. The Tom Ford is in gold, reflective gold, but that's it. Everything else is a matte white. You have the mirror, and then you have the 4 eye shades, and I assume a blush shade and a highlighter. And then knock things over. It says pop eye color, highlight, ingredients. Not absolutely sure. Yeah, I don't know. So this is only available, my understanding, is from the Tom Ford boutiques. I don't think this is going to be available at like Nordstrom's and Saks and Neiman's. That's what I was told. Things, you know, lately I've been hearing things are like, you know, an Asia exclusive, or recently I just was talking to someone about the Dior Miss Dior collection that supposedly is a Japan exclusive. But we're not even sure if that's true. So, you know, it's hard to tell with the exclusive stuff right now. So we will see. I do know that this is an eye and cheek palette. It is made in Italy, and the name is Raw Desire. That's really all I know. It is 0.56 ounces, 16 grams. So we're gonna swatch it and try it out on the face. I also have, this is not a new product, but it is new to me. It's the by Terry Lash Expert Twist Brush. This is a mascara double effect mascara. Strength, stretching, length, buildable, extra volume. So we're gonna try this out after we swatch the Tom Ford. I will use a Tom Ford bronzer. Yeah, that's definitely blush. I don't know how that's anything but blush. I mean, it's pink. I guess you could use it as a sculpt, but I mean, to be honest, back in the day, back in the 80s, we used blush as sculpt because there really wasn't a thing as contour. That really wasn't a thing. And if it was, I mean, it was, but not like mainstream. How's that? It wasn't something that like everyone did. That was just not a thing. There's the highlight. It's very light. I could actually probably use that as blush, believe it or not. And then let's try the eyeshadows. Now the texture on this is very reminiscent of the texture in the Bitter Peach that I had. That, remember, didn't look like anything on the eye and I really hated. I hope that's not the case. We'll see. No, it's better than the Bitter Peach because I can already get like some shades out here. Okay. But it's light. It's very light. Believe it or not, those are the shades. That's the lightest shade. That's the shimmer. That's the peachy shade, like the brownish peachy shade, and that's the deepest shade. And that's the deepest shade is that one. So they don't swatch well. They don't swatch particularly great. It's very, very light. And again, I have nothing wrong with light. I just, you know, it doesn't look like that in the pan. Okay, let's try this. Let's first try, I have my new Suede sculpt brush, actually. Judy, I want to say thank you for letting me know, we're going to try the highlight first, that these were even available. They were originally on Nordstrom's for half off, and I mentioned this in my other video recently, and Nordstrom had a problem with their website, like their orders weren't working. And so I did place an order, and it went through supposedly, and then it was canceled because it couldn't ping my credit card. So that day that Nordstrom was saying, oh, everything's fine, you know, we have your order, they actually didn't have my order. So it was canceled. I wasn't able to get the Suede brushes that I had ordered from Nordstrom's, but my friend Judy literally like pinged me the next day and she's like, they're half off at Bloomingdale's. And I was like, oh my goodness. So I ran over to Bloomingdale's and I put over on Instagram, like every Suede brush that I could get my hands on. Okay, so that's actually a nice, very subtle highlighter. It's subtle though. I mean, it's like, you know, you can see it when I tilt my head, but it's very, very subtle. The blush, I think there's more to the blush, but not a lot. Now, again, I think this is a blush. I mean, it kind of says sculpting on the back of this. It doesn't actually say what the products are. It just says on the ingredients. I'll look at the Tom Ford website and see if it says anything like, you know, highlighter, bronzer, whatever. I mean, I very much doubt this is a bronzer or it's supposed to be a bronzer because it's got a pink shade to it, but you never know. It could be that that's what it was meant for and the shades are just weird. Okay. So that actually looks really nice on me. I am so pale that actually shows up. But I would tell you, on most people, I don't think that's going to show up. I think it's going to look, I don't think it's going to look like much, to be honest with you, on most people. Again, on me, I'm so pale that you automatically see it. So let me just look and see if I can find, I found it. They call it the White Suede Eye and Cheek Palette. They don't refer to it as Raw Desire. That's really interesting. Okay. It does say sumptuous shades of eyeshadows, highlighter, and blush. So it does say it's a highlighter and it does say it's a blush, which makes sense because that's what it looks like. And it says everything I just said, neutral shades designed to vary dynamic textures from a sensuous shimmering wet dry eyeshadow formula to extreme luminous matte cheek color. So it's an extreme, okay, luminous matte cheek color and highlighter. So the highlighter and the blush are luminous mattes. Yeah, I would say that's true. I mean, I always think the words luminous matte is just odd, but yeah, okay, I could see that. And then the wet dry formula for the shadows, which is not my favorite. So let's take, I mean, these didn't really swatch very well. So let's see if we can take it was like the second to deepest shade. And rosy undertones. Yeah, I guess I could see that. Now I'm using a Hakuhodo brush that's like a workhorse of a brush. Like this is a brush that I feel can get out pigment if there is pigment, and it is. But I would tell you what I would be worried about if you have like a synthetic brush or a brush that isn't very dense. I think you're gonna have a really tough time getting that shade to show up, because this is a brush that usually I have to be careful with pigment because like it's too much. Like it's, you know, I'm like, whoa, I did not try to put that much on my eye. This is very, very subtle. So what I would say, if you're somebody who likes a very subtle look, like extremely subtle look, this will work for you, but you're still probably gonna need like a really good brush to get it to show up. But it does show up. But it's very subtle, guys. Like this is maybe with the dry, maybe with the when you wet it, it shows up more. So let's try this. Try this syrup brush. Now again, this is a very soft brush, but it usually picks up pigment pretty well. Yeah, can you see how like nothing comes? Like you get practically nothing. Okay, I brought you in a little bit closer because I want you to be able to see this. You see a slight deepening. You just have to build it up. It is there. It's just that, you know, again, this is a very subtle look, but it is picking up the pigment. So at first I was like, well, no, I got nothing, but that's not true. It's just very soft. You can see it. I mean, it deepened, it worked. Okay. At first I was like, oh no, that's not good. But again, I think this is gonna be a palette that only, you know, certain group of people are gonna like. All right, this is the very lightest shade. I'm gonna use this as brow bone. And these are all Suede brushes that I'm using, except for the Hakuhoda one that I put the original crease on, but the rest are Suede's. I had used the Suede brushes before. I had like 1 or 2 of them. I just didn't have as many as I do now. Okay, I mean that, you can see that. There's pigment there, again. Okay. Yeah, this is just a very, very subtle palette, guys. Just be warned. All right, now we're gonna use the shimmer shade. Okay, I'll tell you, I actually like this palette, this eye and cheek palette. I actually think it's very pretty. But I'm just gonna say it right now, like, I only think, I'm gonna take a little bit more of that brown, the deepest shade. I just feel like this is only gonna work if you're very pale. I mean, you know, it's very subtle on me, and like I said, you can see how pale I am. It actually looks very nice, to be honest. It's a very pretty, very soft look. It's actually very flattering, and looks very nice on my older eyes. I have to say, it actually looks quite nice. And the luminous matte blush and highlighter also looks lovely. This is actually, for me, this would be great for work, and I might actually even travel with this. I hate to say it because at first I was like, but it'd be great for work, actually. But I feel like this is just really, I don't know. It seems very light, right? It just seems very light, you know. All right, so let's mist the brush a little, and let's try and see if this can, you know, this works wet dry. It says it does. I don't put too much on my brush. Let's try the deepest shade. I mean, again, I don't think it's like particularly awe-inspiring, but it does. You do get something. What exactly? I'm not sure. All right, let's try the shimmery shade. Yeah, you definitely get more with that. That's for sure. Okay. Yeah, you get almost a metallic foil kind of thing if you wet it. I think you can see that. All right, let's try the other shade. Let's try the crease shade that I used. And when I just do like the corner. I just, you know, I don't use the whole square because I worry that even though it says it can be used, somehow it will, you know, be weird. Yeah, I mean, it works. It's just, I still, you know, the metallic shade, yes. The metallic shade, I think you see something. The other shades, metallic shade though, yeah. There's a more emphasis with that one. You get like a more of a metallic look. So yeah, I can see that. It's actually, like I said, it's actually very pretty. But I just feel like this formula that he has, when you have like the X's on it, I don't love that formula, to be honest with you. It just feels, I don't know, it feels weird. It's swatching better now, now that I've like, you know, played with it a little bit. It's still super light though. The blush and the highlighter, that matte luminosity kind of thing, like I said, I think it looks really nice on me. I think it's so soft and so light. I'm not sure who, like, I just don't know if that would show up at all. You know, and that's an issue. Just because it works for me, I don't think it would work for pretty much anyone else. All right, so let's move to the new eyeshadow. Well, it's not new, but for me it's new. And this is the By Terry Lash Expert Twist Brush. One twist, two looks. So mascara's like this. Okay, so that's the brush. Looks spiky. And then I guess you twist it. Oh, I see. And it turns into a different brush. Interesting. And the brush now has like a spiral kind of thing. So if you leave it longer, you get more length. If you twist it, you get more volume. Okay. I'm gonna try it. Okay. Let us try. Okay, it feels a little weird because of the twist in it. Like, not bad, just, you know, kind of twisting, like, you know, swirling it a little. All right, so that was the, now I'm gonna lengthen it out and like see. I wonder if you lengthen first and then twist. It's like, it's interesting. Well, I will say it definitely lengthens. This is one of the brushes though you have to be careful with, or I have to be careful with it because I poke myself kind of brush. Okay. This is a good test too because my lashes are being weird right now. I don't know why. Probably too much makeup on and off. Probably from that Chanel video that I did where I did all the 4 tweeds and like looks on my eye with a tweed versus like a different quad to see what they look like in comparison. My eyes, after I did those, my eyelids were like, okay, what are you doing? They weren't happy with me. And I didn't do them all at once, but it's not putting on the makeup and like, I think it's putting on the makeup and taking off the makeup and then putting on the makeup. Like, you know, even the gentlest cleanser, you know, you have to not rub your eye, but like there's some friction on your eyelid when you're taking it off. And if your lashes and your eyelids are really super sensitive like mine, you can just get irritated so easily. Even if, you know, you're using like the most gentle products and trying to be careful, which I was. But that's why I didn't do them like live or try to do them like at the same time that I recorded the video about like, you know, all the details. Okay, now I'm going to twist it because I knew, I was like, this will not end well. But yeah, my lashes are a little irritated. I have to go back to the Chantecaille for a little while. That's what I do. I go back to Chantecaille because that mascara never irritates my eyes and it helps them like kind of recover from all the other mascaras and taking them on and off. See, I just got black on the inner corner. That's okay, I'll fix it in a minute. All right, so I'd say this mascara definitely works. It's not my favorite. So far, my favorite is still the Calorie mascara, believe it or not. There's a couple others that I like too. I like the Dior. I will always be a fan of the original Chanel and it's not the original Dior. I forget the name of it. I don't remember. It's the curl one, over curl. That's what it is. And I love the Jones Road mascara actually. So I do like this mascara. I just have to be careful with it because it does have more of that pokey brush. So I have to be careful. But I did lengthen and volumize my lashes. I think you can see that. Yeah, they look nice. It's just, again, you have more of that pokey brush. I understand though that the pokey brush does kind of make, you know, your lashes look longer. So I would say if you like, and see, it got a little bit on my, it almost looks like liner on me because the way the brush hits my lashes. But I would say if you like a mascara that can lengthen and then volumize by twisting it down, this is a good mascara. I like it. But I like the Calorie, the Jones Road, and frankly the Dior more. But It's good mascara. I don't dislike it. I'll have to try it out a little bit longer and see what I think. So, final thoughts on the Tom Ford, what they're calling the white suede eye and cheek palette. I think that it is a very soft, subdued, light look. It's the wet dry formula for the eyeshadows. It says dip your brush on a damp cotton pad using water or your favorite facial mist. I do think the shimmer shade that's in here does do well wet. I think you definitely get more of that metallic look. I think the other shades didn't really look that different when I wet them. I think they did actually go on nicely, and I think you have a nice, soft, ethereal, actually very pretty look on me. But I just don't think they're very pigmented, and I think they're meant for a very soft, you know, it's a different aesthetic. That's all. I actually like the way it looks on my face. I actually think it looks really nice on me. But I think a lot of people are going to be very disappointed in it because it's just not pigmented. And, you know, yeah, so that's the thing. Like the way it looks in the palette, like this shade is just not the shade. The shade is so much lighter than that. And that's the thing. Like it's just not going to show up the way you think it's going to show up. The shades are much more soft, much more subdued. If you're looking for that though, this is probably a good palette for you. It's a very neutral, rose-leaning look, but I don't, again, I think the blush and the highlighter looks nice on me, but I will wear this and I think it will look really nice, but I think a lot of folks are going to be disappointed in it if you're looking for anything with, you know, pigment in it. I mean, here's the thing. I do want to be like fair about it because it actually looks nice on me. So I can't say that it doesn't because it does. But I think, you know, it's a certain aesthetic. It's a very light, like I've said like a million times now, soft, ethereal look. And I just feel like the way that it looks in the pan, it looks like it's going to be a lot more pigmented than this. And it's just not. So I don't know. I just think certain people will really love it because that will be their aesthetic and that's what they wear. And then other people will be really disappointed in it. And it's $150. So $150, I don't know, I feel like it should work for more folks. But I do like the way it looks on me. I actually think it looks very pretty. It would be good to travel with, I gotta say. Like for work, it's very work appropriate. And I actually like the colors on me. I actually think they're very flattering. So that's my take on it, guys. So I'm not really sure how I fall on it, right? You know, I'm just using it for the first time. I'm gonna have to think about this a little bit more. Again, I think it's this one is gonna be, you know, for a really specific aesthetic, and if you don't like that, then you're not gonna like this. I just don't think this is gonna work on a lot of people. So that's my first take. Again, I'm just trying it for the first time. So that's it for today. If you have any questions, please, you know, put them in the comments below. I'll happily answer what I can. So thanks so much for joining me today, guys. I really do appreciate it. And I hope to see you in another video really soon. Bye.